Hello, I'm Dr. Bernstein. Welcome to Bernstein Test Prep. Today I'm going to be talking to you about the exam that you have to take and how you can best prepare for that exam. The information that I'm about to share with you is going to be particularly valuable towards achieving that goal. This is an extremely important competitive law enforcement promotional exam. Many people will take it, but only those with the best scores will be promoted. Over the last 30 years, it's been the Bernstein students that have always gotten the best results. That's because we have the best instructors, the best materials, which are easy to follow and yours to keep. We also offer very convenient times and locations for all of our classes. And we provide the best all-around training to get you fully prepared for your exam. It's a new test now, and at Bernstein Test Prep, we prepare you for the new test, not the old one. Today, I'm going to be talking to you about that new test that you're going to have to take and how you can best prepare for it. Every year, there's changes in the exam. Now, I track these changes better than anybody else. In the class, we're going to go through all these new changes very thoroughly. Now, before I talk to you about this test that you're going to be taking, let me take a minute to tell you a little bit about myself and what we offer here at Bernstein Test Prep. I've been operating Bernstein Test Prep, which is a nationwide test preparation company, for the past 30 years. I'm a licensed clinical psychologist, and one of the things that a psychologist does is that they develop exams just like the one that you're going to be taking. However, I didn't start off as Dr. Bernstein. I started off as a police officer working on the street. I've also worked as a detective, and I've worked as a supervisor. I've successfully trained more than 100,000 people from all around the country for their exams. What I'm about to tell you is extremely important. It could make the difference in getting the promotion that you want. You're going to want to pay close attention to what I'm about to say. People usually fail or get low scores due to not being properly trained for the different sections of the exam. That simply comes down to people not being fully prepared on test day. And most of you know this opportunity to take this exam only comes up every few years. So every extra question you get right can potentially push you up higher on the list. We know what that means ultimately translates potentially into what? Dollars. So here's the latest information on the police promotional exams. The first part of your exam is a written multiple choice test. Now, the primary areas that the New Jersey Civil Service Commission has tested on the new exam are as follows. The first one is the Attorney General Guidelines and Directives. Now, this is on every exam, and it's been on every exam for many, many years. Certain ones are more important depending upon the rank that you're testing for. There's also new guidelines that have recently come out that are also very testable. The guidelines are broken down in the Bernstein AG Guideline Workbook in class. We break it down with you in class and pull out those areas that have the highest probability of appearing on the exam. We're going to go line by line, page by page, and point out to you the most testable areas. Now, I've been breaking down these Attorney General guidelines for 30 years. I think I have it down by now. Now, once you register for the Bernstein Comprehensive course, you will receive access to highly testable AG guidelines at the Bernstein Online Learning Center, so you can do an advanced read before classes start. Now, these are guidelines that I have personally picked out that come up with a high degree of frequency on the exam. The next area that comes up with a high degree of frequency for sergeant, lieutenant, captain, even deputy chief in chief is case law. Now, case law is very important and highly tested, again, at all the ranks. The case law questions have routinely had very long fact patterns, and those of you that have tested will probably remember this. Very long fact patterns, a half a page to a page. Now, in the Bernstein case law workbook, we explain each case and the holding in a very simple way so it's easy for you to understand. Our instructors will present the information to you in a way that you're going to remember it for the test. We're not going to try and get you through law school. We're going to try and just give you the information on case law that you need for the exam. Now, year after year, the cases in the Bernstein case law book routinely show up on the exam. The areas that are frequently tested, areas like search and seizure, interviews, confessions, and Miranda. Over and over and over tested. So, those that are in the Bernstein class will easily be able to pick out the correct answer on the day of the test. The next section that comes up is Criminal Code 2C. Now, Civil Service looks at Criminal Code 2C a couple different ways. They look at, well, what kinds of statutes come up on a day-to-day basis with high frequency for police supervisors to review, to respond to, right? So what kind of scenarios? So we know every day, North, Central, South Jersey, theft, assault, burglary. We know they come up routinely. So Civil Service looks at some of those routine statutes and they put them on the exam. They also put some obscure stuff or things where they analyze criticality, where they ask themselves, is it of critical importance for a supervisor to know this Criminal Code 2C statute? So sometimes they throw some curveballs in. In class, we will review you on all of these statutes, the high frequency ones and then the curveball ones that Civil Service will throw out. Now, Title 39 is an area that it's tested more frequently at the sergeant level and less frequently for lieutenant and captain, if any. Sometimes they don't have any on lieutenants and captain's exam. Occasionally they'll put something on the sergeant's exam. We'll point those out. School search policy manual is another reading piece that Civil Service puts on the reading list, and it's tested at all ranks. They occasionally make up questions from this manual. We'll point out areas in the manual that we like, that we think are potential test questions for this year. Occasionally tested. Something more frequently tested, a large number of questions, is the work sample area. Now, what are work samples? These are things like policies, written policies, procedures, statistical graphs and charts, police reports, some type of written work sample that a boss would see. Now, you may see, on average, 10 to 15 test questions on the work samples. Sometimes they're straightforward. Sometimes Civil Service will work a little trick question or two or three in there because you look at it and you think, well, I got this, I can blow through this. And many times candidates do and get some of these wrong. So in class, you're going to learn specific proven techniques to help you work your way more efficiently through this part of the exam. It's a very important part of the exam. Now, overall in part one, the multiple choice test, some people don't finish. However, the Bernstein students finish. And they get so much practice, our guys and ladies get so much practice that actually simulates the test day and so many online practice exams. They're doing this over and over and over. It really helps them to attack the test with a high degree of efficiency and effectiveness. They have a strategy. They know exactly what to do. Now, before I talk about the sergeant's video exam and the captain's oral assessment, I'm going to talk about the textbook that has been on the lieutenant and captain's exam. Now, in recent years, there's been no textbook on the sergeant's exam. It's just been on the lieutenant's and captain's test. For lieutenant and captain's candidates, this is an extremely important area. By far, there are more questions from the textbook than any other source. The most important area on the reading list, by far. Now, this textbook has more than 600 pages. More than 600 pages. What we do is over several weeks, we go through this textbook and we're going to go through this textbook line by line, page by page, pointing out the specific areas that have the highest probability of being on your exam. Okay, that's how we approach the textbook. Very important, as I said, for lieutenants and captains candidates. Now, let's discuss part 2 of the exam. Only sergeant and captain's candidates have a second part on their exam. There is no part 2 for police lieutenant candidates. Let me tell you a little bit about the video exam for sergeant. It's approximately 50% of the overall score. And just so you know, the sergeant video test is given on the same day as the written multiple choice test. So let's talk first about this video exam for sergeant. Now, the New Jersey PBA and FOP asked for my input on what the video test should be. The PBA and the FOP and I went to Trenton to meet with the Civil Service Director of Testing. Now, I gave specific input to Civil Service on what would make up a valid video test. They took my suggestions and they included them on the video exam. There's a number of different videos that you're going to be shown on test day. Now, these videos contain different scenarios that a sergeant might see at work. After you watch these videos, they're going to ask you a series of questions. Now, the most testable scenarios and most correct answers will all be reviewed in the Bernstein class. Those that do well on the video test will become the next sergeants. We drill down extensively on this for weeks. In our class, we run our students through simulated video tests over and over. And our students also get additional practice videos online that they work at home. Now, for the Bernstein students, picking the right answer often becomes second nature. And the Bernstein sergeant's candidates consistently have had the highest scores in the state. Now, let me tell you a little bit about the oral assessment for captain. It's also approximately 50% of the overall score. The written multiple choice test is given first, and approximately 2 months later, the oral test is given. On test day, you're first given a written package that contains very important information. So you're given this package when you come in. It describes a problem that's happening now or something that's already occurred, usually a multifaceted, very complex problem. Now, you're given time to make notes on the action steps that you will take to solve this complicated, complex problem. And after you go into another room, you got to present a multifaceted solution or series of solutions to a video camera. After that, assessors are going to view your video and score you on oral communication skills, command presence, leadership, technical professional knowledge, and several other dimensions. Now, many candidates have trouble on this portion of the exam. In the Bernstein training, we're going to make sure you're familiar with all the different kinds of situations that routinely appear on the captain's exam. We're going to show you proven strategies. We're going to model ideal responses for you and run you through a one-on-one simulated oral assessment. Now, after your one-on-one assessment, the assessor will give you feedback on what you're doing right, what you're doing wrong, and what specifically you need to do to improve your score. We're going to make sure you know exactly what to say to bring your score to a very high level. Now, scoring high in a captain's oral or the sergeant's video test usually, in my experience, makes the difference between who gets promoted and who doesn't. Now, when you take a Bernstein class, you're going to learn the strategy to score high on all the different sections on your exam. You're going to be reviewed on all of the books and materials that are relevant for your test, whatever they may be. You're going to receive regular quizzes and practice test questions at the Bernstein Online Learning Center. You'll have constant access to that, 24 hours. You'll also get an audio version of the most highly testable topics, as well as electronic flashcards. You'll be able to look at these flashcards on your phone whenever you want, wherever you are. Finally, you have access to me, Dr. Bernstein. Any questions you have leading up to your exam, you can email our office and we will always get back to you. After attending our training, I can assure you that you'll be fully prepared for all the different sections of your exam. We're the only test preparation company with proven long-term results. One thing I can assure you of is when the final list comes out, it's going to be the Bernstein students that are at the top of the list. You don't want to compete with a Bernstein student. You want to be one. You can sign up on our website. It's bernsteintestprep.com. Our classes usually sell out. Sign up now to guarantee yourself a seat. And if you have any questions, you can call our 800 number. It's 1-800-272-5353. That's 1-800-272-5353. I assure you, if you come to a Bernstein class, your score on your exam will definitely go up. Best of luck to you on your exam.